I want you to show me how to get to know someone like you, someone like you. I want you to know me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on this super soft romantic look. This is honestly one of my favorite looks that I've filmed. I just think it's so pretty and so girly and soft and feminine and romantic. All the things that I love, and I am doing it using the new Too Faced Natural Love collection. They recently came out with the palette. It's full of really beautiful neutral shades. It's so wearable. So I am using this palette, and then I'm also using one of their new highlights. They came out with prismatic highlighters. They have 3 different ones, and I'm going to go through and kind of talk to you about the palette and talk to you about the highlighters, give you guys swatches and all of that good stuff. So if you'd like to see all of that, then just go ahead and keep on watching. So starting out with the palette, this is why I did such a soft romantic look, because look at this packaging. It is so stunning. I love the packaging of this. And then when you open it up, like I said in the intro, it's very, very wearable. This is like a perfect palette for someone that just loves neutral shades and doesn't like to do anything too colorful, just likes to keep everything really neutral. This is just like a dream. And of course there are some more colorful, like playful colors in here. There are some really pretty purples in here, the pinks, and I will say that some of these are original shades and then some of them are brand new. And there are some mattes in here and then some shimmers and then some are just straight up glitters. So I'm gonna swatch them for you. I'll swatch a matte shade and then I will swatch like a shimmery shade and then I'll swatch one that's more like a glitter, because whenever I started swatching them before, I realized that some of them are just like more of a straight up glitter. That's perfect for like the inner corner or whenever you want to like add a little bit of something to like the center of your lid. So the top is a matte shade and then the middle is a shimmer and then the one on the bottom is more of just like a glittery shade. So my experience so far with the palette is I adore this palette. I think it's so beautiful, so wearable, and the shadows themselves are really buttery and soft. So some of them do have a little bit of fallout, and I think you're gonna see a little bit of that in the tutorial, but I don't really care as long as the shadow is really pigmented and blends out really easily. I don't really have a problem with fallout because you kind of have to expect that when you get such a buttery shadow, but I love this so much. Like, I feel like I'm just gonna be using this palette all the time, so you guys will definitely be seeing this in more tutorials. So moving on to the highlights, there are 3 different highlighters. These are new highlighters to Too Faced. They are prismatic highlights, so I'll go ahead and open them up for you because they have such a pretty design to them. And there are 3 different shades, so I'll show you kind of in order of lightest to darkest. And this one is a more champagne shade. This is Blinded by the Light. It's definitely more on like the frosty kind of champagne end. And then the next one is a very, very gold highlight. And this is You Light Up My Life. And like I said, it is gold. But it's so pretty whenever you swatch it on the skin. This will be perfect for like a summer highlight. And then there is Ray of Light. And this one is more of like a rose gold and it is beautiful. I love a rose gold highlight and this one is so, so pretty. So let's swatch this one too. So here are all 3 of the highlighters. So there is Blinded by the Light, You Light Up My Life, and then Ray of Light on the bottom. When it comes to the highlights, I am so in love with these. I think it's so beautiful. It's not one of those like blinding highlights, which don't get me wrong, I love those, but I love highlights like this to where it still looks like a lit from within look, but you still get like, I mean, that's a pretty good glow going on, but it doesn't look chalky on your skin and it just goes on really, really smoothly, and it doesn't emphasize any like texture or pores that you have going on your face. It just makes you look nice and healthy and glowy. So I really, really love the highlights. So now you know a little bit more about the products, you've seen some swatches, and if you would like to see how to get this super soft romantic look, then let's just jump on into the tutorial. Jumping into the palette, I am first going in with the shade Nudie, and I'm using a big fluffy brush. This one's in Morphe E27, and I am really just applying this all over the lid. I do have my base done, and I did apply some Shape Tape to my lids just as a primer, and I just wanted to do the base off camera to save some time, and it's all about these palettes and highlights. So now I'm going to go in with Honey Butter, and I'm applying that with that same brush, but I'm using this just into the crease. This is going to be a super soft look, so I'm using a very light hand with everything, making sure everything is blown out and super soft.
It's terrifying, it's terrifying.
I wanted to add just a touch of pink into the crease, so I'm using a Morphe M573 brush in the shade Lace Teddy. This is a very, very pale pink. It's not going to be super pigmented or loud, but it does give a nice little touch. So I'm basically just layering this right over Honey Butter that we just applied into the crease. And then I'm going in with the second darkest shade. This is called Makeup and Chill, and I'm starting first on that outer third of the eye, kind of keeping it darkest there, and then I'm just applying whatever I have left up into the crease. And you can see I am still doing such a light hand with this because I want this look to be super soft, as I said before, so I'm not doing anything too dramatic. You guys know the drill. I'm going back in with that first brush that we started out with and just blending out any harsh lines. Especially with a look like this, you can't skip this step. So blend out any harsh lines, and then we will go in with our lid shade. And for the lid, I'm starting out on the inner third of the eye with the shade Satin Sheets. I want to have a nice gradient effect on the eyes. I want it to be super subtle, but I want the inner corners to really pop. So I love this shade on the inner third of the eye, and I'm using this brush from the Copper Dreams collection from Morphe. It doesn't have a number just because they all come together, but pack that on the inner third, and then I'm going in with the shade Push Up. This is such a pretty, like, muted, shimmery mauve color. I love this. I love how they kind of just blend together seamlessly. So I'm packing that towards the center of the eye, and then I'm gradually fading that out into the outer third. Then I just went back in with a little bit more of Makeup and Chill because we had kind of blended it out a little bit and I wanted just a smidge more definition. So I'm just applying that on the outer third again and then up into the crease so it looks a little bit more defined. So blend it out one more time, and then we're going to do the inner corner highlight, and I'm using the shade Fairy Tale. This is the one that I swatched in the beginning. I'm pointing at the wrong one, but I'm using Fairy Tale, and this is the one that has more of like a glitter to it. So I did spritz my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus, and I'm packing this onto that inner corner, and you can see I'm kind of just wrapping it all the way around the tear duct. I wanted it to go a little bit on the lid and kind of blend with those shades, and then also onto the lower lash line as well. So for this look, I did not want to have any harsh liner, so I'm taking this tiny little angled Morphe brush. This is the M160 in the shade Stiletto. It's a beautiful matte black, and I am really just tight lining my lashes here. I just want it to be super, super close to that lash line, just kind of fill in the gaps in between my lashes and give a little bit of definition to the lash line without looking harsh.
We could be true, we could be true. I want you to see what I see in us, something so real.
Now I am just adding some Maneater mascara from Tarte. I love this mascara, but of course I'm going in with some false lashes, and the lashes that I'm going to use are from Lily Lashes. They are my favorite style. They're in the style Miami. They're just super fluttery and wispy, and I think they just go perfect with this really romantic look. Now I'm just applying a nude liner. This one's from Tarte. This is their Fake Awake. And then I'm going to hit that bottom lash line with a little bit of Makeup and Chill. I love the contrast of a nude waterline and then a little bit of a darker shade on the lower lash line. But I did keep it super, super soft and blown out. And then I'm adding even more to that inner corner. I'm using this Tarte Eye Jewels. This is a glitter liner and it's in the shade Gold. And I am just applying that right over that glitter that we already have just to intensify it and be extra, you know? Sometimes you can be a little extra. Now I'm going to apply some Maneater mascara to those bottom lashes and finally add some blush. I feel like I look so dead without blush, and this is Tarte's Risque blush. I love this blush so much. I feel like it goes with everything, but it was looking a little heavy. I mean, I did want a flush cheek, but that was a little too much. So I'm just going back in with a little powder brush and kind of going around the edges, making sure that it just looks like a nice flush cheek. It doesn't look like clown cheeks. And now I'm going in with the Blinded by the Light, and I love this. I mean, you can clearly see why. And I'm using a Morphe brush. This is from the Copper collection as well. And I do like to kind of wrap it around. You can see I like to add a little bit just to the apples of my cheeks so that you can see the glow from like facing me as well, not just from the side. And then I'm also applying a little bit to the tip of my nose and then my chin. And then I'm going to go in with the lips. I wanted to do like a nude, but that was a little bit more rosy. So I'm just lining my lips with this nude liner from Gerard Cosmetics. Then I'm going in with a lip cream from Jouer. This is one of the newer ones in the shade Blush. This is so pretty on its own, but of course, I wanted to add a little bit of sheen to it, so I'm going in with their Skinny Dip Lip Topper, and I just applied this to the center of my lips first, and then I just kind of blended it out with my finger because it just looks so pretty layered on top of anything. Just gives it a nice sheen and a little bit extra. So once you get that on, your look is complete. I hope you guys enjoy this super romantic look. I love it, and I hope you guys will pick up this collection because it is beautiful. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!